The 2016 USBC Masters rolls on live at Woodland Bowl in Indianapolis. We've reached the title match. 10 frames of bowling. Number 1 seed Anthony Simonson just turned 19 with a win. He would become the youngest player in the history of the PBA Tour to win a major title. Going up against Dan McClellan, looking to be the first Canadian ever to win. Our Rolltech stat, 300 games during the USBC Masters, 11 of them shot during qualifying at this event and none during match play. Stats by Rolltech. And now, Anthony Simonson elects to begin.
Likes the right lane better, obviously.
19 out of Princeton, Texas. Big pin reaction, strike for Simonson.
Two-handed style of Anthony Simonson. He's actually a little lower rev rate two-hander than we're used to seeing from guys like Belmonte, Osku, Jesper Svensson.
Two great stories competing for this title. Dan McClellan up first frame. Oh, matches him with a late fall of the 9. McClellan going through his personal challenges to find himself back in the spotlight on the PBA Tour, as has Anthony Simonson. Here's a second look at the late fall of the 9.
Nice pin action there, kicking that 9 out late. He's won singles gold medal in 2014 men's WBA World Championship in Abu Dhabi. Gold medals in Canada, the Pan Am Games in 2015.
Touch wide, light 4.
Some of his collegiate accomplishments that you alluded to in the last match. He's done everything except win on this tour.
Dropped his PBA touring card, competing as an amateur at this event, working in the bowling industry in Kitchener, Ontario for Frederick Lanes as the GM, and in a title battle on the other side of the coin. 19-year-old Anthony Simonson won everything he could win as a junior player. Left high school to become in pursuit of a professional bowler, surmounting many obstacles along the way.
Wes Malott was talking to Anthony after his loss to Dan McClellan, and he told Anthony, he says, listen, just some food for thought, but I played the right lane hooking 2 more boards than the left lane. And take a look at Anthony's arsenal. Optimus solid. You know, another great story about this young man is that he's actually currently a member of Junior Team USA because he's under the age of 21.
Opening double, third frame for Simonson. And he gets the strike.
Him and Jesper Svensson are both on their country's junior teams, respectfully. They'll be at the World Youth Championships in Nebraska in July.
Simonson turning pro, becoming the Rookie of the Year in the Southwest region in 14. He lost his mother last year in 2015, went on to win the United States Bowling Congress Doubles Championship. McClellan up in the 3rd. And that's a light 2-pin.
Dan McClellan only bowling 216 the last game after Malott just scorched him with back-to-back 258s. 216 is not going to be enough to win this title match. I don't know if it's a ball change for Dan or if it's changing his angles, getting softer with his hand and opening the lane up more, which he can most certainly do. But the ball reaction that he has right now, the way he's playing the lanes, I don't think is conducive to him bowling a big game.
Talked to us yesterday. He said he needs to trust himself more, and he is trusting himself more in these situations.
You know, he's very unique in that he's a power player that likes to go really straight.
Good pitch, strike for McClellan in the 4th.
You hear him say it? He's talking to himself saying soft, soft. And maybe the way for his ball to react better is just by getting his speed down just a bit. But getting back to Anthony Simonson, I was speaking to his tour consultants today, and Jim Callahan, Del Ballard Jr., and Tim Mack, and they said that they've never seen anything like this young man.
Light and first challenge, a 210 split.
Said he's mature beyond his years and experienced in both life and bowling. Right now, his first obstacle has that nice lead working on the front three, and then the 210. Let's see if he can slide the 2-pin over.
Open frame for Anthony Simonson, the loss of his mother last year prior to bowling at the United States Bowling Congress Open Championships, where he won the doubles there with his partner Mark Sleeper Jr. He dedicated that victory to his mother. Here's Simonson's roll through match play, undefeated. A.J. Johnson, runner-up here last year. Bill O'Neill, Jesse Buss, 6-0 on the way to the title match. He's up by 7 pins, 5th frame. 7 pin the last of fall strike for Simonson, 4 out of 5.
417 bowlers competed this week. He was the only one that went undefeated.
McClelland, clean strike, spare, strike. Chance to take the lead here with a double.
A lot of pressure on Dan's shoulders, as he alluded to the other night, speaking with us, saying, you know, I want to be the first Canadian to win on the PBA Tour. No other Canadian has ever won under the bright lights of the biggest stage in our sport.
Considering the right lane, considering what we saw from Wes Malott, is Dan McClelland seeing something similar in terms of his ball reaction?
I mean, I got to go with Wes Malott. If Wes Malott was playing the right lane to hook more, I got to believe the right lane's drier. He had the best ball reaction out of everyone today. But, you know, everybody's balls, you know, everybody's got a little different ball roll, and you know, maybe it reacts harder for Wes, and maybe it doesn't for Dan McClelland. But, I mean, I go with the guy that had the best look, and that was Wes. I think the right lane hooks more.
Back half of our title match, 6th frame. Perfect shot for Dan McClelland, and Kimberly Pressler is with Wes Malott.
Thanks, Mike. I sure am. Wes, thanks for taking the time to talk with me, especially after that heartbreaking loss. It all came down to that last shot. Were you in your head?
Well, a little bit. I don't even put it on the last shot. I put it a shot in the 9th frame when I 2-8-10. That was the key shot in the match, in my opinion. I really feel like this was my tournament, and I kind of gave it away. And now I've got to go home and regroup, get ready for next week, and not do this again and learn from it.
Well, during the break, we saw you talking to Anthony. What advice did you give him?
Oh, Anthony's a Texas boy, and you know, he's like kind of like my son. You know, give him any advice, and kind of told him what I saw on the lanes and how, you know, the difference that I had him in, and you know, I didn't want to embed it in his brain, but I want to give him a little food for thought to have in the back of his mind, and maybe it'll help him and get his first title, or not his first title, but his first major, and be the youngest of all time to do that.
Well, I'm sure it was helpful. Guys, back to you.
Thanks.
Simonson, 7th frame, double working. Bang, bang, plus 27. How can you be that solid at 19?
It's a real phenomenon. It's very unique. You don't see it. You know, we were talking about Norm Duke, and was Norm Duke this mature when he was out? Remember Norm being the youngest to ever win a title at age 18, and the answer is no. Norm wasn't. He had a nice little run there when he first came out on tour, but it took Norm many years to mature into the superstar Hall of Famer that Norm Duke is today.
Haven't heard the last from Dan McClelland, striking the 7th, and he cuts the lead to 17. Another one gets it into single pins late in the title match at the Masters.
This is what major championships are all about, and players just leaving it all out on the lanes. This match certainly coming down to the 8th, 9th, and 10th frame. Dan McClellan steps up now, can cut the lead, or excuse me, cut the deficit to 7.
8th frame.
Oh, no.
Solid 9.
It's like getting rabbit punched right in the throat. What a terrible break. Just a beautiful shot, and the ball goes right by it. Sport can be so cruel at times. It just makes a great shot. And oh, you see the result right there.
Spare for McClellan. He trails by 18. Big thanks to Jim, Doty, and everybody here. Jim, the general manager at Royal Pin Centers, the great history of Woodland Bowl and their participation in championships and majors. One of the great venues in professional bowling.
Yeah, and he's one of the greatest proprietors and people you'll ever meet. And Mr. Doty is just a great guy and has always been a friend of the PBA and the players. Thank you for all you do for us, Jim.
Turkey working, Simonson, 8th frame. Roars it out. 4-bagger with a bunch of pin action.
Well, watch this ball go out for burger and fries and come back with steak and baked potato. And that couldn't have happened at a better time, working on a 3-bagger.
Throwing some bacon bits. Turkey open 4-bagger. Simonson leading by 28. Bidding to become the youngest ever to win a major on the PBA Tour. Foundation frame. Walked it out, drives it straight back. Team Fish rooting their compatriot on.
His doubles partner, Connor Pickford, sitting to the left. Kyle Troop to the right. Anthony Simonson, what an incredible story.
Bowling's band of brothers. And now Dan McClelland can still shoot 228 with strikes in the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th.
The biggie, though, was the solid 9 in the 8th frame. He would have had a 4-bagger there. He'd been in the 220s. He could have struck out for 240. He couldn't have shut out Anthony Simonson, but he could have made him think about it. Now, Simonson just needs to stay behind the foul line and keep the ball in the lane no matter what Dan McClellan does. Amazing comeback for Anthony, going 3 in a row and then the 210 split and then firing back with a 5-bagger. Age 19. History in the makings. Back-to-back weeks on the PBA Tour, major championships. Last week, Jesper Svensson. This week, Anthony Simonson. Well, McClellan bowled nice today. He bowled real solid. Made some nice shots. It's nice to see Dan back. Dan's going to go back to his home and his job in Canada. And Anthony Simonson is going to make history here today.
Dan McClelland having kids and family. He said it flipped my switch. I'm not as high strung and perhaps enjoying his time out on the PBA Tour just a little bit more. And a runner-up finish at the United States Bowling Congress Masters. Anthony Simonson, as rough as it gets at home, leaving school, turning to bowling for friends, for competition. Going through the regional program, Rookie of the Year there. Eagle winner for the United States Bowling Congress. What a moment.
I just think it's amazing where this young man is mentally. Let's let him enjoy this moment.
Anthony Simonson, the youngest ever to win a major on the PBA Tour, just turned 19 years old.
That's for you, Mom. For you!
doubles winner on the PBA Tour this year, major championship winner, player of the year candidate early in 2016. It's 19-year-old Anthony Simonson. You are the 2016 Masters champion.
Great bowling. Here's your bud. Keep it going.
Jesper Svensson, the youngest at the Tournament of Champions. Anthony Simonson, the youngest ever to win a major. We'll talk to him when we come back live at Woodland Bowl. Historic conclusion to the 2016 Masters. Anthony Simonson, 245. Dan McClellan, 207. Simonson becomes the youngest ever to win a major on the PBA Tour. And as he finished, dedicated to his mother on Valentine's Day, wearing pink, to Kimberly Pressler, laneside.
Thanks, guys. Right now we have the trophy presentation. Chad, please do the honors.
Thanks, Kimberly. Anthony, on behalf of all the USBC members, our board and staff, congratulations, Masters champion. Awesome.
Masters champion. Congratulations, Anthony. So right before this, we saw the footage where you dedicated this to your mother. I understand she recently passed, and my apologies for that, but how important was she in your role playing and doing bowling?
You know, she did everything she could. Both my parents did everything they could to get me into a bowling center. Anytime I wanted to go, you know, after school and go practice, you know, mom's the one that was off early. Was, hey, Mom, can I go bowl? Yeah, that's fine. Hey, can I go bowl? Hey, it's time to go home. Mom, I want to stay. Let's bowl. You know, both of them did everything they could for me, and you know, with her passing, I've had some good success, and this is a major one, and this one's for her.
I have no doubt she would be very, very proud of you today. Are you as cool on the inside as you are looking on the outside? Because you were calm, cool, and collected this entire time in a major on national television.
Probably not. You know, my heart's racing. You know, just kind of got to thank the guys over there, just sticking to the process. You know, that's what they tell me all week. I mean, I'm kind of lost for words, really.
Well, you are the youngest bowler to ever win a major. How does that sound?
It sounds awesome. You know, I missed the youngest ever just to receive a title by just a couple days. You know, to break a record on the PBA Tour, especially taking a major, it's an honor.
Congratulations, Anthony. You are officially a major champion.
Big February continues with the live Barbasol PBA Players Championship from Wayne Webb's Columbus Bowl, live next Sunday, 1 Eastern on ESPN. The World Bowling Tour Finals after that at 3 Eastern. All action upcoming on ESPN. What an incredible story of accomplishment. Maturity beyond his years. Anthony Simonson becomes the youngest ever to win a major title on the PBA Tour. And he dedicates it to his mother. Happy Valentine's Day. For Randy Peterson, this is Kimberly Pressler. And I am Mike Jakubowski. So long from Indianapolis.